Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode 1627. I think it's 1627. Little early today. I want to get a head start on today. I want to do some shipping from last night's auctions. I was completely caught up yesterday with shipping. Ran our singles night auctions last night. Had some good success on that. Want to get those shipped out. Another round of eBay Live tonight, breaking up a complete set of 1970 Topps basketball, the Tall Boys. And I want to hit up the card shop this afternoon because I had to dig through boxes yesterday afternoon to find filler stuff for last night's auction. And if I want to run anything Thursday and Friday, I need more volume, basically. And when I say that, look behind me. There's cards everywhere. But I want to run auctions that people want. I have so much stuff, and I can throw in here's a good example of something that just randomly pops up, and this is the power of live selling. Do you have any non-sport? And all of a sudden I sell an incredible Hulk lot that was probably in my quarter boxes, or would have, if I did quarter boxes, still would have been. And I sell 5 incredible Hulk cards for $44. Mork and Mindy sold for like $25. I sold a couple Alf cards for like $5-6 a piece. Found some Marvel cards, and Marvel did really well. Was moving a few Marvel cards last night from 1994 Flair. One of them sold for $11. So some of that, it's like, okay, you never know what people, that's why I want to try to get organized as well. My wife came downstairs yesterday. That's always one of these, because I can see the look in her eyes. It's bewilderment, disbelief. What did I marry into? Those are the times. That's the look that I get. And actually, it's not even a look I get. It's just a staring off into space. Like, I think she's trying to rein in some anxiety that's being induced by my mess. So we were brainstorming some ideas of what the hell, how the hell can I do this? So here's where I'm at. Here's where I'm stuck. My rooms are all a mess. This is it looks like a disaster, but it's kind of under control to a point. And I know what I need to do. I just need to do it, and I need help. So I need to find somebody to be like a mover for me. And I don't want to hire Tippler. They're great. They're expensive. And they told me they'd never move my cards again. I think they were joking. Probably not. So I don't want to hire like a professional moving company. And my wife's like, why don't you just take trips up and down? And it's like, well, because usually when I go to my car, like usually I have stuff in my hands anyway. Plus I don't want to run up and down my basement steps loading baseball cards. Like that's a lot of work. I'd rather, and plus I've got a lot of stuff. If I committed to a day, committed to a person, like, hey, this is your job. And that way it's like, well, I'm paying somebody to do this. That would alleviate my stress of moving shit. And then I could use that time as they're moving stuff upstairs to sort and be like, here's another box, here's another box, here's another box. And I think we could get a lot done in a half a day, maybe. So that's although we're getting into winter, it's like, oh, who the hell wants to go to my storage unit and unload cars in the cold? So we'll see. So I have that's my idea right now. I've just got so much stuff and I need to get rid of it. And honestly, I need to go through. If I spent a day, like I'm going to go to the card shop today and spend money. If I spent that same amount of time, like devoting it to going through my own boxes, I could probably find the same amount of cards that I would buy at the card shop today and not spend money. However, there is a caveat there. I don't have cards that the card shop has. Like, I don't have any more Bo Nix or Drake May or Caleb Williams or Bijan Robinson or other names that people want. Michael Jordan and Kobe, although I don't know if I'll find any of those at the shop today, but I should find a nice smattering of the other stuff. So that's what I'm looking at. So I'm going to go on a buying trip today. Tonight is our 70s tall boy set break. I'll probably do a pop-up show tomorrow afternoon. And then maybe even Friday. And then no show Friday night. Saturday, I plan a buying trip at the card show. I think I'm going to go to Pewaukee first thing Saturday morning, so I can get back in the afternoon to watch my alma mater playoff game, quarterfinals, Elite Eight, and then we'll do a live Saturday night, and then maybe a single Sunday night show. Maybe depending on how much I buy, maybe or find, maybe 2 shows on Sunday. So I want to really load it up here over the next few months. Utilize the extra time that I'm not outside or doing outdoorsy things. And by outdoorsy things, I mean drinking beer out on the porch or something. I don't know. So that's the plan of attack for this week. Next week, I'm excited. Next week, fun buying trip in Chicago at the Sports Spectacular. I finally booked my hotel room. I'm actually staying like across the street this time. I'm a Marriott person, so and actually the Marriott across the street's not as much. Now I did have to pay for parking, so it's going to be a little bit more than the place that I booked a mile down the road, but. I'm like, well, if it's decent weather, of course, it's going to be November 20th or something. So, it might not. It's probably going to be cold. So we'll see where the parking garage is, how long it is. But I mean, can't be much further than the actual. I'll just walk through I got to walk through the parking garage anyway. It's a trek anyway. It's not like I'm going to take an Uber across the street. So. I'll just wear gloves and a hat, I guess. So that's next week. I got to focus on card show stuff today and tomorrow because the Madison Card Show 2-day weekend is coming up the week of Thanksgiving, the weekend of right after Thanksgiving. Saturday, November 29th, Sunday, November 30th. We get the regular Madison Card Show. We're back at the hotel both Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, sports with a little bit of Pokemon. Sunday is all Pokemon. The Madison Pokemon Show. That's Saturday, November 29th, Sunday, November 30th. Parking is free if you can find it, and admission is also free. So all the complainers on Facebook, there you go. You get your freebies. You can come on in, no charge, Saturday, November 29th, Sunday, November 30th. I was also looking into, I've been talking about, this was a call I had last week. One of my dealers has been talking about starting a app, website, platform for card shows, vendors, and promoters, and just hasn't. It talked about it. I'm like, hey, let's meet up for lunch or something. Talk more about this. Get it off the ground. Didn't set anything up. In the meantime, I got reached out. My English are good. Platform reached out to me that does basically what my dealer has been talking about. I'm like, well, let's do it. So we had a call last week. It's called Treasure. I'm not on it yet, but I will be once I get focused on card show stuff in the next few days. I'm gonna get loaded on that. It looks it's gonna relieve a lot of pain points. And I talked to somebody I know, a promoter that's already on there. And I reached out to him and I'm like, hey, I see your shows on Treasure. What do you think about it? And he gave it rave reviews. He's like, I was in on the beta testing. We've done like 20 events, haven't had a single problem. It's awesome. And he was telling me some of the other things it can do. And I'm like, so it does more than I was expecting it to. So that's really exciting. Plus, it's cheap. and it's going to save me money against, I can delete my Constant Contact because Constant Contact is a pain in the ass. So I won't have to pay for that anymore. And I can probably save some money against my website too. So that is awesome. I was going to run the numbers over the weekend and I didn't end up doing it. So that's what's going on. Talk about eBay Live. Let's say hello to the chat. Happy it's hump day. It's trash and recycling day. I got to get those bins out to the curb. Andy Max in the house. Good morning. Jeremy is here. Yes, whatnot, same. Never know what people want. That is why organization is the key to live selling. Amen. Amen. And and what I love about, I talked about this and I talked about this and I talked about this. I hate themes because you're handcuffed. And if you don't have the right people in the room, just because you have a theme doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to have 50 people in the room that all want wrestling cards. No, they just pop into a stream and like, you got any baseball? You got any football? No, it's wrestling night. And so doesn't mean that everybody wants wrestling cards or whatever specific things you're running. And so I get that a lot. Like they just get the notification that, hey, your favorite seller is live. Oh, cool. What's this? And it's only wrestling. I don't want wrestling cards. So that's what I love about the shell listings. And I'm not handcuffed to listings. It's like, well, I have 200 cards. Or if you preload all of your auctions, whether you're doing 50, 100, 200, it's like, do you have any Tarek Skubal? No, but I've got Luka Doncic and Bob Gibson and T. Higgins and Reed Shepard and Quicksilver from Marvel. It's like, well, I don't want any of those. I want Tarek Skubal. So in a shell listing format, you want Tarek Skubal? Yeah, I got this Chrome Platinum Anniversary. You want Quicksilver? I got it. You want random 1979 tops? I might have it. So that's what I love. I can pivot in real time. Hey, if Bo Nix, Drake May, Michael Penix are not selling, well, maybe people don't want modern football. Let's try out older football. Let's try out 80s baseball. Let's try out prospects. Let's try out, you want non-sports? Hey, here's what I got for non-sports. You can pivot, but organization is key, of which I am not. And so that can be a struggle where I get a lot of requests that I can't. Do you have this? I've got a whole bunch of it. I got to find it. Griffey? Yeah, I've got dozens of Griffey, hundreds of Griffey, probably. I don't know where they're at. So that's something. It's always a work in progress to get organized. I'm doing so many shows so quickly that, I'm devoting my time to the shows and the shipping and not really on the back end, which if I probably spent a few days organizing, I could probably really make a killing and do really well. I just need to do it. L1C, what's going on? Haha, my wife gives me the same vibe. She enters my office and you can see her brain goes on and overload. Yeah. It's just like that. It's the deer in headlights staring off into space. Like what? Jeremy says hire a couple high school kids. I've got a couple people in mind. But I don't want to. I don't want to. Like I got to find the right. And this is all about when you want to hire somebody. It's like you got to hire the right people. Like I can't. When I'm dealing with cards and, a task at hand, like it's not a hangout session. It's not, I can't have, I have ADD. And when I start moving stuff, I want to sort. That's why I want to have, okay, this is your job. You've got to move the cards up into the garage, into the car, and then we'll drive them over to the storage unit. My job is to sort because you know what happens when I start moving cards in? I'll take a box and I'll start, I haven't looked through this yet. So my job, because of my ADD, undiagnosed, I'm going to be sorting through boxes, loading up more boxes, and have somebody that doesn't want to just dig through cards. I need somebody that doesn't like cards, basically. That'll do the work, doesn't like cards. Gem City, what's going on? Good morning. That boy Trey, what's up? What are you doing on YouTube? I'm just talking, just chilling, hanging out. Peter, good morning. Orlando's in the house. What's going on? 223, what's up? What are you doing? Just chilling. Unicorn Cupcake, good morning. He's the high roller scratcher. Gem City Card Show says Tech Evolution. Finger red number 1. I don't know what that means. Chris says, when you were in NYC, were you surprised by how fast the people walk? I nearly got run over. No, this is a great question. Because here's my observation. I was actually shocked. It wasn't as fast as I thought. Or as rude. Like, nobody was rude. Now, I was also in like a touristy section. So maybe that's why. Maybe it was a bunch of transients and not like actual New Yorkers. But people walk fast, but I didn't notice a difference. It wasn't like I'm a fast walker. Even if I don't know where I'm going, I'm walking fast. Like when I walked around Saturday afternoon, I'm walking fast, even though I have no idea where I'm going. So because I'm a fast walker, maybe I didn't really think about it like that. But no, I wasn't. The only thing that it's not surprising. Like this happens this can happen in Madison, Wisconsin, when there's a bunch of people on one side and a bunch of people on the other side. It's like, you're doing the dance as you're crossing the street. And somebody that I was with were like, man, people just walk right at you. It's like, well, they have no other where to go. Like you have this much room and you have this many people. Like you've got to walk straight ahead. Otherwise you'll walk out into traffic. So I was surprised. It wasn't as fast as I thought. Like I thought it was going to be just crazy people running me over and people being rude and knocking me down, be like, yeah, you suck. Get out of New York. I didn't experience any of that. Maybe that's just an urban legend, a myth. I don't know. But that is one thing that I'm glad you brought that up, because I wanted to touch on that Monday or Sunday, whenever I came back. Because that's one thing I mentioned that to my wife, where I'm like, I really like New York. Like it's not like you get all the like, oh, New York, like people are rude. Oh, push you and walk into you. And I didn't experience and I didn't see any of that. So that was one thing I did notice. Unicorn says, got any low value Pistons cards? Oh yeah. Yeah. You got any Tim Wallach? Oh, I've got Tim Wallach. Gem City says, maybe you could use your scanner to be organized. No, I cannot. Chris says, I wouldn't hire anyone who hasn't had professional experience. You hire a kid or two that hasn't had a job, they won't show up on time or show up at all. That's true. That's why I just want to hire. This is like a one-off, just for like a day, half a day. And I want it to be somebody that I know and know that they'll do the job without distraction. Orlando says, Dr. Beckett put out another shilling video this morning trying to explain himself. Excellent. And I don't know the way Orlando types this out. Gives me a little pause on his explanation, trying to explain himself. So I'm very curious and interested to check this video out, because I'm glad he put something up and didn't wait, because that was the whole thing yesterday where it was, where, my thought is, silence is deafening, and it's almost like he's trying to push it under the rug. Like, oh, if people still remember it in 2 weeks when I'm on Hobby Hotline, we'll talk about it. It's like, shit, this hobby has a 12-hour memory. Unicorn says, I've listened to half of it, but then Bo came on. He makes some statements, but they seem to contradict what he said in the original. I'll have to listen to the rest after this. The statements he put, he was pretty, he sounded pretty firm in his statements in the original podcast. So that's why I'm curious, how is he going to spin this? Is he going to spin this? Can it be spun? Chris says, excellent breakdown of the P. Ryan damage control post. You know you're in trouble when you get multiple. Moving on from Bo. Jeb City says, you mean if you used your scanner to sort thousands of cards to put in a spreadsheet in a priority of what is an all-star or what is selling at a higher price? That would be too time consuming. I understand. I understand where you're coming from. But I've got to move faster than that. So that takes extra steps. Creating a spreadsheet, scanning the cards. Because here's the problem. And let me explain it from my point of view. Because my stuff's not sorted at all. So I have to take the time to sort and say, I bring a box up, and in some stuff, there I may have a box, and this is where like my mind races, and it's like, shit, what do I do? And I get overwhelmed, and my rooms are messy like this. So I've got a box right next to me. There's a whole bunch of Cal Ripken Jr. cards. A lot of those I can't sell individually. And usually I'm looking, like right now I'm focusing on singles for the most part. Where it's like, yeah, I could sort this in Cal Ripken, but right now I'm moving so fast. And I think I probably just need to take the time to, okay, this is going to be dig through the Cal Ripkens. Okay, these I can sell as singles. These can go in a lot of Cal Ripken Juniors, because I can probably sell, depending on, the interest, I can sell lots of Cal Ripken Jr. So, I'm going through, and I may have here's a perfect example, NBA inserts in color. So when I go through, this box, half of this box is probably going to be nobody's going to buy this as a single. So it's going to be, but if I do 10 cards of color NBA, it's probably going to sell for a couple bucks. But there's Kevin Durant, but this Kevin Durant on its own, probably not going to sell. This Chet Holmgren Green Prism, that'll probably sell. Franz Wagner and Ben Simmons, Gold Prisms, and Andrew Wiggins, not going to sell on their own. They might sell in a lot of 10. They'll probably sell in a lot of 10. So then, there's just random. Giannis may or may not sell as a single. Boy, Giannis is a hot and cold seller in my experience. So that's kind of where I'm coming from, where it's just, I don't know. Dairyland Picker says, I can help. Cooter says, does your position cover travel expenses? Are you talking about my New York? So I'm glad you asked, because I brought my receipt in, and it is itemized. Excuse me. So the Clayton Kershaw auto, which I thought would do better than it did, I paid $380 for that Clayton Kershaw. It only sold for $300. Wah, wah. My highest cards were the Gretzky rookie I still have, and the Jackie Robinson, which I still have. I want to do a good solid week of run-up before I would list those, which I think this is a good month to list that. The Lamine Yamal, I think I still have that one. Yeah, the Topps Chrome rookie, I still have. Let's see. The other Lamine Yamal I bought for $38, and that sold for $65. So that was about a $20 win. Let's see. The Joe Montana, I can't remember what the Joe Montana sold for. Do I have that on my? I forgot to run them on the actual listings last night. I paid $75 for the Joe Montana. I think it sold for $50. I'm pretty sure I lost money on. I've lost on most of my New York purchases. I lost money. But I kind of expected to lose money on those. So the Montana rookie sold for $53. and I paid 75. The Mahomes rookie I bought for 22, and it sold for I think $33. So I made a little bit of money on the Mahomes. Let's see what else. Some of these are not items. The Pete Alonso I paid 100. That only sold for 50. That was a disappointment. The Caleb Williams Ice Prism I bought for 47. And that I think sold for like 55, 60, somewhere around there. The Rizzo Silver Ink Auto I paid 23 for. That sold for 20. So overall, I've lost some money on my New York purchases, which I kind of knew that was going to happen. Like, I know I've got a PSA 9. I go through these. The Jackie Robinson, I'll probably lose a little bit of money on this, but it's going to get a lot of attention. It's going to bring people into the room. The Gretzky, I might actually make money on this. I got this at a really good price. The Luka PSA 9 rookie, I paid, I think, 95 for that. That's probably, unless I hit it at the right time, he scores 80 points or something, 60. I'll probably lose money on that. This Lamine Yamal, I paid, I think, 45, 54. This probably break even on. Willie Mays, I think I paid, some of these are on the back. Stickers on the back. So I paid 45 for the Willie Mays. And this, depending on when I run it, I'll probably make a little bit of money. Some of these, the Angel Reese Auto, I paid, sticker was 50, so I paid, 47, 48 for. That probably will lose a few bucks. I won't get beat up too bad. The Clemens, I paid 140. This one, I might make some money on it. This I paid 45 for. I'll probably make some money on this. I think this might be one of my bigger margin wins. The Matting, I paid 45 for this Mattingly. I don't know what older minor league stuff will do. Hank Aaron, I paid like 95 for this. This is going to be tough. Dan Marino rookie, I bought for 25. I should make money. I broke even on the last one. I bought 2 of them, which really shocked me because usually I can sell Marino rookies for 50 to 75 bucks. And I was shocked it went for 25. So I should make money on that. The Brady rookie, 75 bucks. I paid 70. That one I'll probably make money on. Barry Sanders 89 score, paid 45 for. This I should probably make a little bit of money. So overall, I'll probably break even to lose a little bit. I think I'll probably get back to break even on some of this stuff. Again, I bought this stuff not to make 20% margin, 10% margin. I bought this stuff to be placeholders, to market and bring people in. Here's an example of the power of a big card. The Mickey Mantle, which I did not buy in New York, I bought from Rabbit Hole Auctions. I bought 6 Mantle cards, so my average price was, I think, $180. The Mantle 61 Topps MVP was the last one to sell. I kept ones in my showcase. I don't think you can see it. It's on the end. So I ran that, and I said I was going to run that auction number 100 or whatever it was. And I got more and more people. I kept saying the Mickey Mantle's coming up, auction number 100. I had almost 60 people in the room when the Mantle went to auction last night. Ended up selling for $330, which I'm pretty sure was the highest selling Mantle of the 5 that I sold. So I was really happy with that. I was hoping to do 200. Like, I was hoping it would sell for 200. So that offsets the Kershaw that underperformed. I was hoping the Kershaw would get 400. And it didn't. So there you go. You win some, you lose some. But the Mantle did 330, and I had almost 60 people in the room. The room dropped in half. The viewership dropped in half after the Mantle ran. So that's the power of, having these big card placeholders. And I still sold, these Flair Marvel. I think I ran about 5 of these, and probably did 40 or 50 bucks on Marvel cards that were in a common box. So I can run some of that stuff. I can run some of my junk, and that's the strategy where I can spend money on Mickey Mantle and better stuff, use it as placeholders. Hey, if I break even, I'm getting people into the room and I'm selling junk for $5-10 that I have no cost into. Now, I've got to be careful. I can't go out and buy $100,000 in Mickey Mantle stuff and break even. But if I do it, today, I'm going to be buying dollar stuff. Saturday, probably digging through dollar bins also. When I go to Chicago, that's when I'm going to be spending money on. I'm going to be hitting up Mark's table and buying some stuff from Mark and buying some bigger name stuff. So that's the strategy. Gem City says you can put sugar on a turd. It's still a turd. Amen to that. Max says pretty hard to make new statements on something when he came out and said, I did X. So what can be said after that? That's true. That's why I'm curious what the follow-up's going to be. I'm eagerly anticipating watching that video. Never did I didn't do X. Max says, yes, you need to take more time than just 2 minutes and sort the shit next to you in those boxes. I know that's what I have to do. It's just doing it. And what happens is I just squirrel and get distracted. You have the time. It's all about opportunity cost. Do I want to take the time and not run an auction during a day? And that's the thing where it's like, do I slip in a Thursday and Friday afternoon show and only make $300-400 where I can use those 2 days, $300 or $400, probably worth to just not do a show and sort. So instead of making $300 or $400, the next show I could do $800 because I'm organized and I've got shit sorted. So do I have the time? Yes. Right now it's like, I'm chasing numbers, which I shouldn't be. That's a bet. Chasing numbers is not good. It is good, but it's also right now it could be it could be a negative. Right now, I think it's a negative because look at my room. It's a fucking mess, and the next room's even worse, and the next room gets even worse. Cooter says, I was talking about applying for your assistant position. Airfare to Madison ain't cheap. Found Treasures, what's going on? Mark's here. Good morning. Dan says the daylight savings crap means I have to stay up later to watch you. Well, hey, I'm on early now. I went on earlier than usual. What did you go to NYC for? Yes, it was a wedding. One of Amy's friends from growing up high school, and well, they're still friends, but high school friend of Amy's. Dairyland Picker says, honestly, I'd help. Just buy my low-end inventory out from under me, and we can call it a buyout help agreement. Dude, I will shoot me a text because I'll take you up on that. I will absolutely pay you and buy your low-end inventory. It sounds like a win-win. Well, let me. I don't want to buy a bunch of low-end inventory that I'm already moving to my storage unit to basically give away for fractions of a penny. So I guess I should be a little more specific on what I'm looking for when I'm buying low-end inventory. Like, oh yeah, I'll buy everything. You got a storage unit? No. I don't want to do that. Gem City says, if a card sells for over $200 and alive, does the shipping label make it go to authentication? Yes. And so this is a problem that I'm probably going to run into an issue. I may run into an issue where it's not an issue. So sometimes you're seeing delays in authentication, and here's part of the reason. What's happening, and I'm part of the problem, because I do shell listings. 99% of the time, I do shell listings. So when I run a lot, so my shell listings, so here's a little background. So when I'm setting up a shell listing, I'm setting it up as basically what do I sell the most of, because I'm not going to take the time to go in and edit each auction. I also don't losing my train of thought here. I also don't often sell many things that are going to go to authentication. Every once in a while I do, and I'm going to talk about one such scenario. So I'm setting up all of my shell listings as one generic thing, although in what do I sell the most of? Singles. Raw singles. And then you can break it down in sport. Right now I'm probably selling more football than anything else, but I think I set it up to like baseball. So my shell listings are completely inaccurate to what I'm the item details of each individual card. But it would take forever if you go in and, oh, this is a baseball listing, this is a football listing, this is a hockey listing, oh, this is a Marvel listing. So it's just completely generic. You get what you see on the screen, basically. So here's where a problem can arise. I have a listing. It's set to baseball singles, baseball raw singles, and I run a progressive lot that sells for $250, $300, because this has happened a couple times. And guess what? That triggers the authentication, and it goes to the authenticator, and it can't be authenticated. And it takes extra time at the authenticator because it's like none of this matches up. Now, fortunately, in the cases, because it's happened a couple times, in this instance, they still send it on to the seller, the buyer. And I think the reason is because it's a live, it's an eBay live. So they make exceptions. Since it's an eBay live, we can't authenticate it, but we will send it on to the buyer because it does say shown on screen. Oh, this is an eBay live. So we actually, funny you bring this up, because yesterday eBay live sellers received an email regarding this exact topic. And I can tell you, where's my email? Oh shit. I don't even know if I'll be able to find it. Oh, I think I can, because it's support. Yeah. So, hello, eBay Live seller. To help ensure accurate listings and smooth processing through authenticity guarantee, please make sure your trading card listings are categorized correctly and reflect the accurate condition before going live. Authenticity guarantee applies differently depending on how items are listed, and incorrect category or condition selections can cause items to be routed to the wrong authentication team. So I think this is why there's been some delays in the authentication. This can lead to processing delays, impact eligibility, and ultimately affect buyer trust. Choose the correct category for your item. Select the appropriate condition. This is where one of my issues arises: graded or ungraded. Note that lots. This is where I've probably run into it the most. Note that lots, sets, and bundles are not eligible for authenticity guarantee and should be categorized as one of the following in the lots. And so that's what's tripped up a couple, because it's triggered the authenticity guarantee because it's listed as an auction. So I think if I expect, most of my lots don't hit that authentication dollar point, but I have had like crazy night, and sometimes it's like, okay, if it's going this high, let's keep throwing good stuff in. So that's wherein lies the problem at times. But yes, it does anything over whatever the price point, I think it's $250, triggers the authentication. So actually, two of my auctions, like the Kershaw and the Mantle, will go to authentication. I'm a little concerned with the Kershaw because it was listed as a raw single and it triggered the authentication because I forgot to put it under the actual Kershaw listing. The Mantle will be fine. Mark says, knew it. Red light. Oh, I think he was talking about the mantle price on that. Red light, still a good night. Yes, sir. Thank you. And I think I've got my box ready for you. So I'll ship the 75 and 77s along with your, I think you won a couple things last night. So I'll get those shipped out this week. Red light, good morning. Max says, remember, currently there isn't much competition, so most viewers don't have anywhere to go. That's why you get organized. And I mentioned this the other day, where there's I'm glad this was brought up, because this was something I wanted to touch on that I completely forgot about until this comment came up. Regarding eBay Live, there's a lot of people that are upset they can't get on eBay Live. You're seeing some of the results I'm having. Yes, that's partly to do with having little competition on the eBay Live platform. Also, keep in mind, there's hardly any buyers on eBay Live. When it comes down to it, there's typically 150 to 250 viewers. Viewers, we're not talking buyers. We're talking viewers. Somebody may get a notification and be like, oh, I'm going to check this out. Not even a buyer. So 150 to 250 total viewers at a time in the sports singles category across all live streams on eBay Live. There's usually in prime time, there's usually 10 to 12. So there's little competition. You go to Whatnot and there's 500 plus. You get into a weekend and probably 1,000. You also have plenty of viewers. There's more than 150 to 250 viewers across those channels on Whatnot. Case in point, Johnny M, who's in the chat sometimes, Johnny M did his second Whatnot stream yesterday. I would consider it highly successful for being only the second live stream he did. He only did basketball, and he had like 20. I watched a few minutes of it. He had 20 people in the room at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday morning. Sometimes I go live around the same time on eBay Live, and I have 6, 7, 8. It's like, if I could get to double digits in viewers, again, and that's just viewers. So that's if you are thinking of live selling and you're upset that eBay's not letting you in, and you do Whatnot, there's an audience there. Like he did, Johnny M in his second live stream on Whatnot did better, probably did better. I mean, looking because he showed in a group chat, in a group Discord, he showed like his numbers, and it's like, if you extrapolate that out, because usually during the day I'm running 150 to 200, usually 200 auctions. Like if you extrapolate that out, his dollar per card was higher than what I get on eBay Live during the same time period during the week. And I've been on eBay Live for 6 months now, and one of the first ones on eBay Live. The buyers are not there yet. It's coming. eBay. I mean, look at eBay. A lot of eBay users are still getting used to it. I still constantly will get messages. The Mantle brought in a few messages. Hey, I want to bid on this. And I have to say, well, it's on eBay Live. And I get people like, I see this as an eBay Live listing. I've never been on eBay Live. I get people in the chat on eBay Live. Oh, this is my first stream. So while there is little competition, there's even less buyers that are out there buying. So that's something to keep in mind. And for people that are waiting to do eBay Live, don't wait. Just do Whatnot. Plus, if you have a history of live selling, you are more apt to be accepted once eBay opens up. They get their kinks fixed. You're more, you're going to be more likely to get accepted into eBay Live if you have a history. And the more history you have, the better chance you have to get on. They don't want rookies. They want their platform. They want their sellers. I mean, they're promoting heavily this eBay Live to build this up. And they don't want somebody that doesn't know what they're doing and makes a bunch of screw ups, because guess what that can lead to? Mistakes. Buyers are not, well, eBay Live sucks because this seller didn't know what he was doing. And eBay doesn't want that. They want people that know what they're doing, have experience. So if you want to get on eBay Live, if you want to do live selling, but you can't get in, do Whatnot. Just for anything to practice. Like if you have any inkling of doing live selling, just do it now. Don't wait. Just do it now, because then you'll know even more. Once you get to eBay Live, you get that head start. Hell, maybe you go to Whatnot and you don't even need to go to eBay Live because you're having such success on Whatnot or any other live selling platform. Gem City says, how many funny looks did you get from folks who you met at the wedding when you explained your profession? So here's the difference. My first career was radio, sports broadcasting. And that's like, oh, cool. Do you get to go to concerts for free? You get free sports tickets? That's usually the response when I said I worked in radio and was in sports broadcasting. Then I had a real job. Fortunately, I've only had a real job for 8 years in my life. I had to go to the office, do shitty real work. So I explained, well, what do you do? If I told them my my boss at the time was a title guy. I'm the assistant or the office branch manager of blah, 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 da, 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 da. And just love titles. So my title, most of the part was business development specialist for a third-party logistics company. And this is why one of the reasons I didn't like that job so much was because it was so hot. Like we couldn't come on and talk. Like I couldn't do, I couldn't really talk about anything about my job. It's like, come on, we're hauling beer across the country. This isn't like level 5 deep state bullshit. This is fucking hauling fat tire from Fort Collins, Colorado to Chicago. Like, come on. We're not doing top secret government work here. But our corporate didn't want us talking about our company and anything because it could put them in a bad light. Like, fuck that. So I couldn't I love to promote shit and I couldn't promote shit. Anyway, so I did that for 7 or 8 years and people, well, what do you do? Well, I'm in business. At first I'm like, well, I'm in business development for a third-party logistics company. And they're like, the fuck does that mean? So then I'm like, I'm in sales. I'm in sales. Oh, well, what do you do? Well, I work with companies to move their freight across the country. Oh. Now I sell baseball cards and I get the radio response. Like, really? And usually it's like, I collected baseball cards when I was a kid. That's usually what I get. Sometimes the most common responses are, you can make a living doing that. Second response is, you can make a living doing that. Second response is usually, do they still make football cards? Yeah, they still make football cards. They make basketball cards too. So those are the most common. I think the most common response is, oh, I used to have a whole bunch of baseball cards, or I've got some in the closet. Are they worth anything? And I'm like, are they from the 1980s or 1990s? They're not worth anything. And then the second most common response is, you can make a living doing that. And then the third common response is, do they still make? Oh, I didn't know they made. I had a cashier at Target. This was 5 years ago. Cashier at Target. I bought a box of baseball cards, blaster box, and he's like, oh, I didn't know they made these for baseball. Now granted, he was probably a high school kid. He's like, I knew they made soccer cards, but I didn't know they made baseball cards. Like, yeah, now you know. Dairy Lane Picker says, you bought tons from me. You know what I have. That is true. I do know what you have. So if you have a lot of that, I'm totally in. Mark says, bring flyers for your eBay Live. Ooh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I wonder if I could get some stuff printed up. Maybe I'll do Walgreens printing. At least I know I can get it before Vistaprint. Max says, I can price it out. Denny, do you know who you're talking to? LOL. What's that supposed to mean? LOL. Bo's brain is like a dog. Look, squirrel, and he's gone. That's true. That's true. Dairy Land says, Max, I have a good friend whose kid has some nice pokey. Not sure if he wants to sell, but thought of you as a first look buyer. There you go. More than happy to, says Max. Flipping Sports Guy says, easy solution, progressive lot shell listing. So that's and I think I do have that as a template set up. The issue is I need to be prepared, and I don't always do progressive lots. Like, I haven't been doing them as often. I did one last night just to boost up, my price per item last night, and it actually did really well. It sold for, my progressive last night did $74, which is pretty good for a progressive, which I think was more than $1. I don't think there was 74 cards. Actually, I know there wasn't, because it fit comfortably in this team bag. So there's probably, and I think like 50. So there was probably only 45 or 50 cards. So at $74, that's a good return. And I think I did do that when I do progressive listing. Here's the thing. If I do lots only, a lot only auction, they don't go for as much. It's usually in the middle of an auction where I've got other stuff and there's a bunch of people in the room. That's when they get bid up to the 250. And a lot of times I don't want to list really good stuff in a progressive because I can sell it for more as a single. So I don't typically put good stuff. Now, every once in a while, like, oh, hey, we're going to start with this really nice card or this, and I'll spice it up. But, it's usually stuff that either didn't sell or it's like, I'm probably only going to sell this for $1 or $2. Might as well sell it for 50 cents. Gem City says, hell yeah, Johnny. Just try it and you will learn things like how to prevent dead air by being organized. That is true. That is true. You get a lot of dead air where I want Ken Griffey Jr. and it's like, that's why I always just say, because I don't want dead air. I come from a radio background. Dead air is not good. Do you have Ken Griffey Jr.? Now, sometimes I do have dead air because I'm looking through. It's like, well, shit, I ran out of cards. So I got to go through. Yeah, prevent dead air. Sunflower says, did you notice John Keating gave you a respectful shout out and mentioned your eBay live auctions on the Shill Bidding podcast with Junk Wax Hero? Oh, no, I only watched the first half. I will have to, how's that for street cred? I'll have to check that out. I need to finish that. I forgot. I watched the first half was in the hotel, I think, Saturday morning. Max says, bingo. Max says, instead of shell listings, you could have shill listings with the gentleman from Tejas. All right. I want to go make some coffee, and I'm going to go on a road trip today to DeForest, Wisconsin, to Bonsai Cards and Collectibles. I haven't been there in a couple weeks, so want to pop in and get some singles. With all this talk on getting organized, maybe, just maybe I'll commit Thursday. Instead of doing a live stream in the afternoon, just a random stream, Thursday I'll commit to ship, because I'm going to ship. I want to get last night's orders out, and then tomorrow morning I'll get tonight's orders out, and then Thursday I'll commit to sorting. And maybe Denny, shoot me a text. Maybe we can work out a deal, do a little grunt work for me. I'll buy some of your cards and I'll pay you. So tonight I'm breaking a complete set of 1970 Topps Tall Boys. Topps Tall Boys, 1970 Topps, includes the Pete Maravich rookie. It's a 4. It's the only graded part of the set. I do have slabs that I'll run. I'll probably run the commons. I'll save I've got a Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, and I think Jerry West that I am going to keep for maybe next week's Collector's Corner, something later on. I want to give a runway to promote some of those. So tonight, 1970-71 Topps Tall Boys, complete set, 175 cards. Plus, we'll probably run another 5, 6, 7, 8 commons that are slabbed up, and they're PSA 7s, I think. So that's tonight, 7 o'clock Central. So tune in for that. Link in the description to tonight's live stream. Red Light says, no, you won't. Gem City says, good luck on your trip to Japan. Don't trip on the short trees. Oh, bonsai. Got it. You will sell, he says. Bigger stars in each 3-row with one sport. Yeah, that's what I used to do. I remember how, like, the evolution of my live selling organization went from, like, I'm going to do a GOAT day and I'm going to do Tom Brady. Like, this is I'm trying to think of what a good term, what's the imagination versus reality, or plans versus reality. My plans, I had to draft, the process to get on eBay Live was, even though I was recruited, like, I still had to go through like a lot of hoops to get on. And I had to write like basically an essay on how I was going to handle eBay Live auctions. And so I had this visions of grandeur where I was going to do a GOAT night and feature only Tom Brady and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky. And then I was going to do a vintage night and have only vintage. And then I was going to do a Cubs only night. And I had all these great plans because I'm going to have a theme, because that's what people want. And guess what? That's not what people want. People want randomness. And I learned that quickly. It's like, I started, my first stream was the end of April. And I wasn't going to do shell listings until the National. Made you 3 months. And guess what? About a week later, I was doing only shell listings. It's like, wow, the themes are not working. Because I got people, I want autographs, I want patches. Well, we're only doing Michael Jordan tonight. And a whole bunch of Michael Jordan. Let's see. It's why business plans are absolute bullshit. That is true. That is true. ChatGPT. If you want a business plan, ChatGPT it. We want deals. That's true. We want deals. All right. I'm going to go. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, tonight, 1970 Topps Tall Boys set break. eBay Live, 7 o'clock Central. See you there. We'll do this again tomorrow morning. I'll give you a review of my trip to the card shop. So we'll see you later tonight on eBay Live.